Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty. He's quite the guy.
Hi, everybody. Hey, it's Sunday. Yeah, this old boy told you I'll be here every Sunday at 2:00. Yeah, till further notice. And further notice would mean I'm going to be on here more often. Not less often like it was in the past. It's going to be more often. Hey, I'm going to shout out the few people that we got out there in the chat right now. Metal Music Maniac, he popped in right away. He's the first one in. Hey, Harry, how's it going? And there's Old Country Homesteading. Alexander, it is great to see you, bud. He mistyped. Hope you are getting along well. Oh, I'm all alone. And then he corrected himself. He says, getting along well, not getting alone. Yeah, no. I can't complain. I'm not that alone, for crying out loud. But yeah, I'm getting along quite well. And there's Sheba B. Hi, Lori. Good to see you, girl. And there's the real Robert Rockwell. Awesome to see you, Robert. Awesome. Hey, that's it. And people are quiet out in the chat. I'll tell you what. It's that time of year. Doggone it. Fall's here. We're going to start having to deal with football on Sundays, aren't we? Doggone it. Got to compete with football. And then I do Thursday night streams, start doing like around the campfire again. I got to fight with the Thursday night game. Doggone it. Oh, well, it's par for the course. I beat hell on the NFL anyway. But I got somebody in the basement I haven't chatted to for quite a while, and we chatted for a few minutes before the stream, but not enough. And I'm going to pop him right up here because he doesn't have a lot of time. He's a teacher. He took on a new position with a new school this year, and boy, he's going at it double-fisted, man. He's pounding right out, and he's busy working up and writing a test for his students. And he's got to get that done today because guess what? School's back in business tomorrow. So he's got work to do. But I'm bringing him up. There he is. Hey, Travis.
Maybe sound like a bad person for scheduling, making a test within the first 4 weeks of school.
I mean, come on. I would have tested them on probably day 2.
I did, actually.
To see where they're at, some basics to see where they're at.
You want to know what I did to these kids the first day? I wrote the word biology on the board. And of course, they right away wanted to show me how smart they were and said, well, biology. Bio means life and ology means study. So it's the study of life. I said, great. And I wrote life. And I said, define it.
Yeah.
And we spent 2 weeks defining life.
I tell you what, I would have written a whole fucking book on life. But the problem is the first half of the book would be about life and the second half would be about death. And then in closing, it would be about life and death.
Yeah, I told him, I said, how can we study life if we can't define it?
Right.
We got to understand what it is we're studying before we can actually study it.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, our first 3.5 or so weeks of school has been just defining life and what is a, what
Right.
what makes something alive.
Right. Right.
And
What is life?
That's the test I'm writing.
Cool. Cool.
What is life from a scientific point of view, not a philosophical point of view, which is what your answer would have been.
So, well, no, it would have been a mix.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because there was a lot of science involved in the life and death transition.
I suppose.
A lot of biology involved in that.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm dealing with it now because I have to think about all different forms of life and how they affect my form of life.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these other forms of life out there, the reason they like me are reasons for me not to like them.
Right.
Like bacteria.
Bacteria.
It's a big thing. I have to give myself injections of water. See that big old syringe?
Yep.
No, I don't go there.
Needle stick.
I got a needle. Yeah. I'm not going to show you the needle. It'll scare somebody. But no. That's 60 milliliters, that syringe, and I have to put 8 to 10 of these into my body every day, along with drinking fluids, to stay fully hydrated. Well, now I've cut this down to 5. I cut it in half, which is good because I'm drinking enough now. I'm drinking enough fluids. But I have to, through a tube from my abdomen, I have to inject water. Well, to fill these, you can't afford to buy these buggers.
Oh, no.
They run about $10 a piece. And if I had to replace one every day, I'd be $600 into these things already. But so I have to sterilize these, and they have to be sterile when I fill them with water, and I fill them with sterilized water because the bacteria that lives in your digestive system actually is a huge part of your digestive system.
Yes, it is.
That bacteria, without it, you ain't going to poop right, and you ain't going to last long because you ain't going to get any nutrients because those bacteria break down. Those organisms are breaking down all the fibers. They're breaking down all of the nutrients out of the solid food. And then it can be absorbed into your system. But without those active bacteria, that stuff ain't going to happen. If I inject something from out here that don't belong in there, it'll disrupt that whole system. And all of a sudden, I'm not getting the nutrients I need. All of a sudden, I'm starving to death. All of a sudden, I can't poop right. So I got to be real careful when I'm getting in. So I love what you're talking about because, and how does one life affect another life and vice versa?
Right.
How does everything work and play together?
That's one of the terms I have the kids defining, interconnectivity.
Yeah. Hey, Cheesehead, I am not going to be wearing a cowboy cheerleader's uniform.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I just could not fill out the top. Not at my current weight.
Out!
Yeah, you don't want to even think of that.
Out! Somebody pass the brain bleach.
Taco Bell just turned 60. Taco Hell. You go eat there, and your next stop is at the Taco John. Yeah, for sure, because that stuff's going right through you. Hey,
it's the best cola you can get for $5.
That's it, boy. That'll cleanse you. Hey, TJ's Woodworking Shop. Hey guys, what's up? Yay, boy! Yeah,
it's a gut rot.
It's great to see you, TJ's. Oh yeah, I was talking before the stream with Travis about my diet. I'm at the point now where many of you are aware. I had the tube feed, so I had these containers of liquid food I had to put in a bag, and it's hooked up with a line, and I got to spend, well, when I first came home from the hospital, 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day it took to get that stuff through me, to get 6 of those containers into me. Well, I kept allowed to keep speeding up that rate of how fast it goes into my system. And now I'm at the maximum rate. But the nice thing about it is I went from 6 containers a day. I'm now down to 2 containers a day. I had a schedule of how many calories I had to consume every day for 3 days in a row, and then I could drop 1 container off. And I've been following that schedule now for about a week and a half. And I'm down to 2 containers a day. Well, those 2 containers take about 3.5 hours to get that into my system. So at night, I pick a 3.5 hour period, get everything set up, hook the machine up to my tube feeding tube, comes out of my abdomen here, hook it up, spend 3.5 hours watching a good movie or playing PlayStation. Well, I eat, eat my 2 containers of liquid food. Well,
we're going to have liquefied pizza.
Oh, geez, don't I wish? Yeah. I try to imagine that it's flavored, but boy, I got brave, put a little on my finger, tasted it. Oh, that's the first time I would have puked in months. I mean, it was close. I was gagging. That is nasty.
So that bypasses the taste buds.
Yeah. It's so nice that it's way down here, not up here. I couldn't take it from up here. And it says on the container, unflavored. I don't believe you could flavor that shit. I don't think there's anything you could do to fix it. But I got real quick before I continue on that. Justin Anderson popped in. It's so great to see you, Justin. Yes. And there's Hike with Mike. He's one of my buddies there. He's a favorite of mine. I love watching anything he's doing out in the swamp. His swamp talks, all of it. Yeah, he's a great channel. And there's Kathy Gahan. Hey, sweetheart. Great to see you, girl. Oh, Gemma. It's always good to see Gemma. Yeah. Running water. Yeah. Everything on Taco Bell menu is a number 2. Yeah.
$5 box that is the cheapest colon cleanse you could ever hope for.
Yeah, you could walk into Taco Bell and they say, and what would you like to order? Number 2. Well, we don't have number 2, any of it. It's just
any of it is number 2.
It's number 2, all of it. Yeah.
And can I just sit on the can and because I want to expedite this process here.
Well, that's it. I mean,
the last time I ate there, I don't even think I had it down before I was like, okay, I gotta go.
I don't know why they have booths in their restaurants. They should have toilet stalls. Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Taco Bell, but it runs through me faster than anything I've ever eaten.
Yeah. Lori, that's so true. Yeah. I spent my first 5 weeks from surgery forward. The first 4 weeks, I couldn't even drink water. I wasn't allowed to even drink water and couldn't taste anything. So I bought, my son, the youngest boy, bought me these flavored chapsticks. And I was using those, and I could taste that, and that was good. That helped a lot. That's neat. You're gonna go. That's cool. That's a good way to do it. There you go, Gemma girl. There you go. But anyway. So I'm down to those 2 containers. I was telling Travis earlier, tonight's a great night. I'm gonna be busy. We're gonna shut down at the 2-hour mark today, but and then I gotta get back to eating. I was telling Travis right now, in order to get myself down to 2 containers a day, I have to eat so much to get 1,900 calories, minimum of 1,900 to be at 2 canisters, right? Well, here's the scoop. I feel like I eat 4 Thanksgiving dinners every day. I'm that stuffed because my stomach's only the size of 1 cup. You know, a cup isn't a lot. So I got to eat all dang day and keep that stomach as full as I can to hit 1,900 calories. Well, I got to go to 2,300 calories now, starting tomorrow. I get to drop 1 more container off after tonight. So tomorrow night, I only have 1 container that I have to take.
But you got to get this dinner.
But I got to add an extra meal in order to get myself to 2,300 calories.
Just eat 6 of those Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches you like.
There you go. That, yeah.
Just eat 6 of them. You'll be fine.
That's 6 meals. I mean, those Jimmy Dean sandwiches are about 1 1/4 to 1.5 cups in size. And that's a little bigger than what my stomach is. So after I eat one of these Jimmy Dean sausage, egg, and cheese croissants, 400 calories, though. I eat one of those, I am stuffed right to the gills, stuffed. It takes about almost 2 hours before I feel like I can eat anything on top of it, because that's a lot to get through my system down. But it's a lot of calories, 400 calories. But if I hit now, starting tomorrow, if I hit 2,300 calories a day and I can maintain that, now I'm supposed to only have to go 3 days, but I'm going to go out 4. And if I do it for 4 days in a row, I get to get rid of that last canister and I no longer have to tube feed. Yes! By October 1, I won't be tube feeding. And guess what? I have an appointment on October 14th. They're going to remove the tube completely.
Sweet.
So I've got a couple of weeks after the 1st of October that I'm only going to use that tube to inject fluids, water, just to keep me good and hydrated, until I can get used to getting enough water in my system. But by the end of the 2nd week of October, I'll be completely tube free. No more tubes. No more tubes.
So what you're telling me is I should pack my pizza oven in the truck.
So I can eat one little piece.
Triangle.
Doggone it.
Pizza party at Sty's house.
You're tempting me. Hey, Roy and Becky's Travels. It's been a while. Hey, I catch you whenever I can. Hey, thank you so much, you folks. They're something else, man. They're RVers, boy. They live in the camper, man. And they're great. They're great. You check their channel out, guys. And it's fun listening to their chats. And every once in a while you get to meet people that are in the campground or RV camp they're in and stuff. Yeah, they got a real interesting life. It's pretty cool. Gemma's got a birthday on October 11th. Awesome. Oh, you're more than welcome, Roy and Becky. You guys are great. They're great.
Finding your channel right now.
They whoa, they follow Adventures in the Heartland. I see them around there once in a while. Yeah, pretty cool. John and Jan.
Check this out.
Oh my gosh, Gemma, you're 31 years younger than me. Oh Lord.
I got a birthday coming too.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're gonna be an old man too, eh?
Yeah, 42.
42. I was gonna say, are you turning 40?
No, I'm gonna be 42.
42. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be camping in 2 weeks for my birthday.
Yeah, you usually do that.
We'll be at Black Lake. You do remember how to get there, right?
Oh, you're going to be down at Black Lake?
Yeah, we'll be at Black that weekend.
What weekend is that?
We still got to figure it out because Ginny has a home basketball game on the 1st, but I want to pull in on the 30th because it's an in-service day, so there will be no kids at school, so I can take my camper right to school and then head to Black Lake from school. But we'll be out there the 30th, the night of the 30th, and then the 1st, and we'll leave the 2nd. And my birthday is the 3rd.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll pencil that in too.
Pencil that in too. So now we've got our elf project thing, and
and that. Yeah. Oh, hey. What's the name of that channel? It sounds interesting. I like to check it out. Are you talking about Roy and Becky's? It's Roy and Becky's Travels. Yeah. The other one is Adventures in the Heartland. Yeah. Two great channels.
Don't check out my channel. It's no good.
Yeah. Check his out too.
Don't
Go ahead. Check
I
it out.
haven't done much on it this year. It's been busy.
Yeah. Adventures of a Campground Host.
Oh, Tales of a Campground.
Or Tales of a Campground Host. Sorry about that. Tales of a Campground Host. And the
I didn't have too many stories to tell this year. It was actually a very quiet year.
It seemed to be when we had the picnic, and I'm listening to everybody. And
yeah, it was a lot of cancellations. I don't know if it was the gas prices or what, but I mean, on paper we would be full, but you'd walk through the campground and it was half empty. People weren't showing up, or they'd cancel the day before.
And I heard through a lot of scuttlebutt, that a lot of people were canceling their somewhat localized camping trips because of the gas prices.
Oh yeah.
All the prices. They said by the time they factored in gas and food, they'd just stay at home, do something real close to home, And
I figure my trip to Michigan, between fuel, food, all that, it was $500 for the week.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Half
Easy.
of it was fuel.
Yeah. Well, that's me running just down there to Day Lake for that picnic last month. Was
try it, Roy and Becky. It's a blast.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hosting is a blast. You should try it.
Yeah, it can be pretty rewarding. It can be frustrating at times, but
when the bathroom gets filled up for the 3rd time in a weekend, that gets frustrating. But
yeah.
Or when you go and talk to somebody for the 4th time at 2:00 in the morning and they're still partying and they're completely and absolutely wasted.
And they've got 2/3 of the campground in an uproar because they're trying to sleep, and these characters are carrying on.
Oh no! So this year it was hilarious. They were drunk, and the ladies were going, "You're cool, Travis. You should come party with us at 2 a.m. I'm sitting there in my pajamas in the Forest Service truck, going, "Guys, I can hear you on my site clear across the campground. It's time to quiet down. You're cool.
Yeah.
Party with us. You want a beer?"
Yeah, that's a job right there.
No kidding. Holy cow.
Yeah. Good luck to you. Writing a script for anything that you're going to do, video or public speaking. Yeah, it can get.
Yeah.
That can be frustrating. Yeah, it can be frustrating.
Woohoo! 412. I was at 411 this morning.
There you go. See, we gotta shout you out. Everybody's gotta shout you out. I'm happy. I'm at 4,200 now. My memberships dropped way off, of course, because I haven't been active. And once I get back on my feet by spring, I'm going to have a little something special for my members out there.
You think
that's not part of the membership deal, but I'm going to do something special for them anyway. Send them all out something,
Next year, Sty, I'm 99% sure I'm going to have Starlink out there. Chris said I could put a bucket full of cement in the lake so that I get the good view of the north sky. Well, I told him I was going to go strap it to the tree that's down in the lake. He said, "Why don't you just take a bucket full of concrete and stick it in the lake? I don't care." I'm like, Okay.
Yeah.
So next year I am going to have
Or
Starlink.
drive a post.
I'll just stick a bucket in there. Because the post, then I got to leave the post. The bucket I can pull back out.
Yeah.
But
But I was just thinking, with all the dead down trees around there, you go take a chainsaw and cut
Yeah.
yourself a nice pole and put a tip on her and go out there and drive a post down into the bed of the lake and mount your dish right on top of that post. And then you just put a square platform at the top of the post, mount your dish on.
Yep.
And then when you pull your dish off at the end of the season, it's some critter will nest on that damn thing.
There you go. I got to knock the nest off, though.
Oh, you know how many times I knocked that robin nest out of the damn window here, and they still had babies. 2 batches of babies in that robin's nest this summer.
No, but what I was going to get at is I'll be able to stream from camp. And also, I still want to do that virtual camping trip that you and I have been talking about.
Yeah.
I'm hoping even if you're not out in the field, I'm hoping you're at least up to helping with that next year.
I am, yeah. Well, I'm thinking that's going to be one of my winter projects, is getting back on that. And, you know, I did a whole bunch of structural shit.
I know you did. And your world fell apart.
And then, yeah. And then they told me, they said, you're going to die. Okay.
How do you like it, Roy and Becky?
I've
been using a cell booster and a jetpack for the last 4 years.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. See, now Running Water's talking about that. He's talking about
Trucker's version now. I saw
that they got the mobile.
Yep.
Starlink Mobile, and Running Water's talking about getting Starlink Mobile, because here's the good thing about it is we'll mount it permanently on the adventure trailer.
Okay.
Wherever I go, I can get Starlink, as long as I got a good shot of the northern sky. Yeah. But when it's parked here at home, we also have Starlink here at home.
that's what I want to get, is the RV version.
Yeah.
Because I'll just turn it on when I'm hosting for 3 months, then I'll turn it off afterwards. It'll be cheaper than paying T-Mobile all summer, and all fall, and all winter, and all spring, and only 3 months out of the year. Yeah.
The RV version. I was so glad when Musk said that he put a R&D team just on the whole mobile issue.
He did.
And a little bit of history on that shocked the hell out of me is because of his collaborative relationship with NASA now. They had to release and open up certain patents to him under that deal. Well, one of those happened to be the controllers that stabilized the engines, the big engines.
Yeah, the big gyroscope controllers.
Gyroscope controllers for the big engines on the Saturn V project. So what sent that giant frickin' rocket off into space and kept it right on a straight line is what operates those RV units now, the mobile, the Starlink Mobile. That design, he took it and he redesigned it down into a small enough package to apply it to his Starlink Mobile. And he said he wouldn't go Starlink Mobile. He wouldn't release it to the public until he had it gyroscopically accurate enough that it could be mounted on a boat. Up, down, left, right, back, and forth. It's got to be able to cover all of it. And he said, until I hit that, I'm not going to make it public. Well, he got that patent and they redeveloped it, redesigned it, and applied it. And now we've got Starlink Mobile. I tell you what, that guy, there's things about Musk that.
Did you hear that he's also partnering with T-Mobile to start putting cell packages on his dishes?
Yeah.
So next year, T-Mobile's going to, this phone will be able to work off of his satellites.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is it's going to be the thing is he's going to have the largest satellite array, and it's all low orbit.
Yeah.
So
I think they fall out of the sky every 6 months, so he's constantly putting new ones up.
They're constantly putting new ones up. Yeah. Yeah, Roy, it is. I got the residential version. I was going to have it out at camp.
You can Wi-Fi call, but you got to have Wi-Fi.
And I had I couldn't believe it. I got Starlink. I was doing backflips. Got out to camp, get out there, fire up the app, and I go, oh shit! I don't think the Forest Service will let me cut all them fir trees down.
And then I came out with my phone because you had problems with the app with your phone, and I said the same thing. That needs to go. That tree needs to go. We got. There was about 5 big fir trees that would have had to have gone, and there was no way in hell the Forest Service was going to let me do that. No. If they were birch or popples, I could have chained a beaver to each one of them and said, look at what the beavers did. Look at what the beavers did. But no, fir tree, there ain't nothing that eats them. Maybe I could have cabled a bunch of pileated woodpeckers to them. There you go.
And let them kill them. But that would have taken a couple of seasons, and I wanted it right then and there. But I felt so bad having to send my Starlink back. But what amazed me, they reimbursed every single penny I had paid them. And I had paid them.
Man, Sheba, you've got all kinds of questions. I was waiting
about 650.
We got 2 of them.
How do you do a virtual camping trip? What we're going to do is we're going to invite a lot of outdoors people to participate with an online camping 48-hour camping weekend. So what it is each one of the channels, these outdoors channels that wants to participate, we'll find a slot for them. We'll work with them. And we'll have like breakfast in camp, in virtual camp. And we'll bring people up on the panel, on the screen.
Like we are right now.
Like we are now. And they're all preparing their own breakfast at their camp. All at the same time. But it's all their own breakfast. What are you making over there in camp? What are you making over there? You got one person making eggs and bacon and something, and somebody making pancakes, somebody making this, somebody making that.
Gravy and whatever.
Yeah. And then we'll have lunch times at camp. We'll have dinner times at camp. But in between those, we're going to have, it'd be like little mini seminar type things where we'll have people show off certain skills they have in camp at their camp.
Keynote speakers in there.
Yeah, and we'll have keynote speakers talking about the art of camping, all the different aspects about camping. We'll have different people on. So we had done a lot of work.
Oh yeah,
just to get to really establish the theory of a virtual.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have anything really in stone or lined up.
Right. Basically, I built a schedule for 48 hours and broke it out into areas of breakfast, lunch, and dinner worldwide. Because there'll be people in Europe, let's say, when we're having breakfast, they're having lunch. So we can do split segments where it's breakfast in this part of the world and it's lunch in that part of the world, kind of thing. So it'll be pretty colorful. It'll be
fun. And it'll be
the first
night.
The campfire nights will be nice. That'll be, like my around the campfire, but this will be people at their actual campfires on the panel. All these different people at their campfires, and we'll all be chatting about what's going on in camp and what did you do today and blah, blah, blah. So So for those that can't go camping, we're going to virtually show them the life of campers. We may have somebody with a $500,000 RV
Not me.
sitting under their awning with a little gas fireplace thing going, and that's their campfire. And then you might have that guy that's got the little hammock hanging in the tree. He's got his little fire pit going, and he's sitting there just kicking back, having a cold beer and smoking a cigar. It'll be across the board. So I think we'll have a great time. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You got your solar and your Starlink mastered. Yeah.
I moved my solar. Did that make a difference? I bought a 100-foot extension cord and cut the ends off of it.
There you go.
Somebody's saying hi.
Hey, Nabol. Good to see ya. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yes. But yeah, and that's the thing is that's why I said I'm thinking of taking that on.
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do for that yet.
Yeah.
And Roy and Becky are answering the second question. Perfect. What is Starlink Mobile?
Yep. Starlink Mobile will be when you can actually be rolling along and it's going to follow the satellite array. Right now, their RV version, you have to be stationary, sitting still, which is fine. I mean, it's fine. I don't need it while I'm rolling down the road. In my case, I never will need actual mobile because I can't drive the truck and play on the internet. You
can't be playing PlayStation and driving the truck at the same time?
No. Last time I tried that, I had to buy a new truck. No, we're not going there.
Yes, that is a pretty pup. That's one of my 2 dogs. That's Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty. Liberty's a pine cone fiend.
Yes, she is. Well, she lives for fetch, is what it is, and anything that resembles a ball, like a pine cone.
Yeah, when they're at camp, you don't see balls around for her to play with. Just pine cones, man. She's nuts over them, and she'll stretch her lead out. She'll be tied up, and she'll stretch her lead out. And she's got her paw out there. And there's one pine cone just an inch beyond her reach, and she's just freaking out over. I gotta get that pine cone, and you flip her one, and then she acts like you're a godsend, man. Give me a pine cone, I'm happy. Yeah, thank
you.
Yeah,
and then she'll bring it back to you.
Yeah, she's dancing all over and comes running back, drops it at you. Okay, come on, throw it again. Yeah, it says, and she'll do that for hours.
Hours and hours.
She don't care. Yeah.
Then there's 2.
Yeah, Roy and Becky, actually the residential version is just like the RV version.
Same thing as the RV.
Same thing. Yeah. Except it's designed to be more permanently mounted. I was going to use the residential version because they didn't offer the actual, what they called an RV version. The residential version, if I understand, is larger too. The whole system's larger, bulkier.
Right.
Because it's intended to be mounted in your house, and on the roof of your house or out on a big pole in your yard, not on a stump in a campground somewhere, But that's what I was going to do. I was going to mount mine right to a stump that was in my campsite.
Yeah, and I'm just going to take mine and fill a 5-gallon bucket full of sand or cement or something and with a pole in it, and I'll set it 10 feet out in the lake, and then the water will only be yay deep.
Right.
And I'll put the dish on top of that and let it go nuts.
That's it. Yeah, you just have to watch for the wind, you know,
Right.
that whatever's it's in is stationary enough to handle the wind against the dish.
Right. And that's why I was thinking the 5-gallon bucket, because that should be harder to flip over. You know, it's $135 a month, but when you do the math, it's still going to be cheaper than what I pay T-Mobile over the course of a year.
The
Because I'll turn it off when I don't need it. Tales of a Campground Host, Kathy.
Yep. Tales of a Campground Host. I don't have his link handy here. I don't know if you can, Travis. If you want, you can pop it over in the chat. He jumped off. He'll pop it in the chat and then he'll jump back up. There you go.
Whoops.
Yep.
Whoops.
That's the.
How do Johnson's barns stack
Stop.
up? Barns will vote.
Stop. I don't want it. No. Bad.
No. Stop. Hey, James. Good to see ya.
We'll pop it on the channel here real quick in the chat. Copy. Paste. There it is, guys. It's over there in the chat. You can find Tales of Campground Host right over there. Now I'll tell you what, go check him out. He does a lot of stuff like mine. He does walkthroughs and tours of different campgrounds and stuff that are awesome, and different hikes he goes on. All kinds of stuff. I mean, he's got a lot of good stuff on there. Yeah, you got to get out there. What's that one? That point campground you went to? Oh, Spearhead.
Spearhead. I watched that the other day for the first time, and that's pretty interesting.
What is that mountain you got to go up and down to get in and out of that place?
Switchback going up in there. Now with me with the little adventure trailer, it wouldn't bother me a bit, but I was thinking about you tugging your trailer up in there, and I'm like, fun.
Well, as long as you don't meet anybody, it's not a big deal. But I'm sitting there the whole way going up and down that going, what if I meet somebody? This is barely wide enough for my rig.
And
I ain't backing down that.
What if they're not going to back up?
Right.
Guess what? We're camping in the road.
Halfway, there's a spot where you might be able to squeeze 2 rigs past, but
that's insane, man.
As we were going down that hill, I'm like, I hope we don't meet anybody. And then coming back up, it was like, oh God.
See, now I've seen a couple of our own campgrounds
back down, but no.
There's a couple of our own campgrounds that you wouldn't be able to get 2 rigs past, but the campgrounds in our district tend to have cul-de-sacs to avoid that issue. One-way traffic, man. You don't have to worry about coming head on to somebody. So when I watch that, I'm going, oh, that somebody needed to come up with a better idea there.
But it's a steep freaking hill down into that campground.
So you're going down into it.
Down into it, and then you climb back out. I locked the truck into first gear climbing back out.
It's a lot of tug up the hill, and then it's especially if it's curvy at all.
Oh yeah, because you just get up ahead of steam, then you got to slow way down for this really sharp curve, and then you got make your way back up a little bit. You got to curve again. It's oh my Lord. You should bring up like the last 30 seconds of that video so that people can see what we're talking about. Real quick. Bigger always wins. Yeah, my F-250 and my 30-foot camper are going to win. If I run into somebody pulling in a pop-up, they're moving, not me.
Yeah, especially if you got somebody with a pop-up or a smaller, narrower trailer. You take the vehicle that's got the best advantage to backing up, and they're the ones that need to back up. I mean, and that's the kind of thing where it makes no sense for people to get pissed off at each other. just cooperate.
Now, that being said, Roy, pulling my camper out of the campground when I was done hosting this year, I ran into a UTV on the Forest Service road. He would not move over. He was in the middle of the road. He would not move over. I had to pull the whole rig off to the side so he could go by.
I wouldn't have done it. I would have just sat there.
I'm not gonna hit him.
I would have come to a stop and taken up my full half of my side of the road and just sat there. And if some bitch stopped and wanted to yell at me or something, I'd tell them, yeah, okay. Go ahead, yell all fucking day. Don't try anything because you're not going to like the result. But I ain't moving.
No.
You're going to go around me with that stupid UTV. Get real.
Yeah.
That I can't wait for. I'm going to have just enough time yet this season to get back on that Coleman mini bike. I was surprised when I asked those guys at the picnic. I said, if I got me one of them Coleman mini bikes and I'm hosting East Twin Lake, even though it's not an RV or a ATV campground, am I going to catch hell if I do my rounds once in a while on that mini bike through the campground, or use it to zip on down to the Dead Horse Trail? What? No, you can do that.
Well, you and I can do.
They said, and it's like Chris said, just make sure you're wearing your Forest Service volunteer T-shirt when you're doing it.
Because
he said if county stops you, you just tell them, no, I'm the host of this campground, and I've been given authorization. And I did ask them about the golf carts, and all of them said, well, we really are trying to target to have enough golf carts that every host gets one.
Oh, I would love it. Don't get me wrong. I love my truck.
Yeah, but a golf cart just for doing rounds, just to check on things.
Show presence.
Oh, yeah. It'd be great.
Presence.
Yeah. But I said, okay, I talked to the county deputy that patrols the campgrounds on in his UTV about golf carts. I said, the Forest Service for a couple campgrounds uses golf carts. And he says, yeah, because they're Forest Service equipment. And I said, well, what if I own a golf cart and I bring it out here? Can I go zipping around with it? No, you can't. But someone under the purview of the Forest Service can. Well, and okay, Chris and all the guys said, easy way, we'll just give you a
little magnet,
a Forest Service sticker or a Crate Divide sticker, and you put it on your mini bike.
Yep.
Now you're a Forest Service vehicle. Have fun.
Yep.
Do what you want. I know. Okay, those guys are great. They were great.
They've literally told both of us how many times that the rules of the campground do not apply to us on our sites.
That's our home. Hey, look at here.
Oh my God. But on that note, Sty, I've been told that it's time for me to start cooking dinner because I'm making smoked macaroni and cheese tonight.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be a chicken bacon ranch, macaroni and cheese.
Oh.
Smoker. And then I got to finish writing that test.
Yes. You take good care of yourself.
You as well, my friend. Now that I'm home, I'll be able to catch up with you more often.
Yeah. Stay in touch. Let me know what's coming up around the 29th.
I will.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.
You too. Bye, Travis. Yeah. Metal music. Some of those RVs, they're huge. I saw one, in fact, a couple days ago. I run out to Walmart. I saw one going past Walmart. Here's this great big old diesel motorhome, monstrous damn thing, probably a $500,000 rig. And what's it pulling behind it? Most of them are pulling like a vehicle, a car or a small truck. so that wherever they park, they can run around in their little vehicle. Not this one. He was pulling about a 36-foot camper trailer behind it. What in the hell do you need with that big, huge RV and that camper? And I watched as he went by, Colorado plates. And it's like, where in the hell have you been? And how many people you got in that rig? That you got to haul 2 houses with you. Holy Lord. So, you're done for the day?
Yeah. I'm as close as I can get with a truck and park legally. So
there you are.
It's about an hour and a half to the delivery tomorrow morning. And then hopefully they tell me to just go home afterwards.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be, about 5 hours from Mankato up to where we're at. Yeah.
And what time do you deliver?
8 a.m.
8. Take you about an hour to get.
Yeah, if even. It's a components load. It's a project that's already been going, and this is replaced stuff that they damaged while they were putting up the building.
Sure.
So it's not even a full load. It's like overall, I think I'm coming in at like 8,000 pounds. Yeah, which is basically empty for flatbed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that would put you over here kind of early afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at my other screen here because I got the YouTube side running over there. I looked and I go, holy God, I can hardly see us. It's just blur, but it's running. It's blurrier than hell. So I hit the refresh on it, and now it's clear as a bell. I was like, oh yeah, that machine I haven't fired up for a full week. So yeah, it was the machine. Okay, Roy and Becky. Hey, it was great to see you. Don't be shy. We're here every Sunday. And you have a good time out there. Take care of yourselves, folks.
Yeah. Well, see, I, not even fighting with the phone. I turned on the wire or the hotspot and got the laptop set up. So.
Oh yeah.
Got the laptop set up. Got the camera going through the YOLO box.
There you go.
Audio and all that. So.
Yeah.
We're working out that whole system.
Yeah, things getting stable. Diesel isn't changing.
No.
Diesel price isn't budging. And everybody around here, I got in a little bit of an argument with an individual a few days back. I was visiting some folks, and this individual was, oh man, I am so happy. I said, "Yar, about what? Why are you so happy?" He says, "I can finally afford to go do some things and stuff." And I go, "What do you mean? What's up?" And he goes, "Oh, well, no, the gas prices have gone down." He said, "Gas is only $3.49 a gallon." I said, "Wait a couple of days." Well, I was right. 2 days later, it was $3.64 a gallon. It went back up to $3.64. Okay. But where we got in an argument was, he said, well, $3.50 is a lot better than that $5. I said, no, it ain't. What'd be a lot better is get us down around $2 a gallon again. Then you'd see me saying, now I'm a little happier. Yeah. Even at $2.50 a gallon, I still wouldn't be happy. But I'd be a little happier. Yeah.
Well, that
Good.
it's like I just sit there. I don't comment or anything. I like some of the comments, but just read through the threads.
Right.
Every time the White House puts out, it's like fuel prices were down 8 cents. So imagine the average driver has saved $140 this week. It's like how many thousands of
$140 a week
or a month? Yeah,
a month.
yeah. It's like how many thousands of dollars would we saved if we were still at November 2020 prices?
Yeah. Yeah. Thousands of dollars. Hey, Joey. Good to see you, Joe. Yeah. That's it is, man, when I was paying just a hair over $2 a gallon, I could fill my truck. It's some bitch be right on empty, man. It's on fumes. The dash is telling me you got 4 miles to empty. It's fly into the gas station, fill that truck up, cost me $60. I go into the gas station with half a tank and it cost me $80 to fill it. Don't tell me that gas prices are going down. I want to hear that bullshit. I don't want to hear that crap from nobody. No how, no way, no. Speaking of which, we're talking about vehicles. Now, I talked about this with you and Travis before I started this stream, but the other day I went to get my truck, my 2005 Ford King Ranch F-150. Now, when I bought that truck, she ran great. I go anywhere I want to. Well, I religiously have the oil changed every 3,000 miles. Well, I lost my religion the last 6 to 8 months. Well, yeah, at least since last fall. Well, it was at 4,800 miles since the last oil change. So I was planning I'm going to have to get an oil change done. Got to do it. Because my truck has the 5.4 liter Triton 3-valve motor in it. Well, with that engine, they've got these 2 controllers that are called VCTs, and they're cam, what the heck do they call it? What it does is it adjusts the cams and the richness of how the engine runs automatically, okay? But it's operated under oil pressure. And it's got these tiny little screens on these modules that go into the block of the engine. There's 2 of them. And those screens will get clogged up. If you're not changing that oil, they get clogged up, and then your truck runs really bad. Well, I started my truck up, and it was knock, 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 and tapping, and sounded like it was going to blow up. So I tried driving out to Walmart with it. It wasn't getting better. So I turned it around and said, that's it. I got a hold of the local Ford dealer and asked them. I know the VCTs are shot because I didn't change the damn oil. I said, what's it going to cost me to get those 2 VCTs replaced? They said, well, the parts are $169 a piece. Say what? So there's over $350 just for the parts. And I said, what's the labor on that? They said $426. They said, say what? They said, your total cost is going to be probably a little over $800, by the time we replace the oil and everything else and do that. It'll be a little over $800. I said, oh, yeah, cam phaser. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I was lost for words. But what I did, I decided, well, I ain't going to take it over there to the shop with that old oil in it. I'll just go. I'll spend the $65 to have an oil change done on it. So I ran a quick lube because I know the 2 guys working there. One was from the Ford garage, one was from the Chevy garage on the other end of the town. And They're both great guys, dependable. So I trust the Quick Lube as long as they're still working there. And so I pulled in there. And one of them got talking to me, the guy from the Ford garage. He said, yeah, your VCTs, yeah, they sound like they're all gummed up. He says, we can throw a little bit of oil treatment in there. It's a detergent that breaks up a lot of that oil deposit and scum, the old heavy crap that clogs things up. It'll break some of that down, and you'll want to do an oil change in probably 2,000 or 2,500 miles after using that. But he said it might help. I said, yeah, go ahead, let's do it. So they did the oil change and put that in, and then they lubricated the whole chassis. And because I told them give it the whole rundown, they checked the transfer case and the rear end fluids. Bad. I mean, they got 151,000 miles on both of them, and that truck has been pulling weight for many of those miles. So yeah, that oil definitely, that lubricant was bad. So I said, pump it out, change it out, put all fresh in. I said, so they did. My total bill came to $213. Now they had started the truck after they did everything, but I was in their waiting room watching the news. I didn't hear them start it or nothing. They come in and said, we're all done. Here's the damages, blah, blah, blah. And I paid them. And I went out and I got in the truck and I go, well, tomorrow, that's what's going to cost me. It's going to cost me another $800. That'll be $2,000 or over $1,000 in 2 days. I hit that starter and that truck instantly started. And it ran smooth. I thought I was in the wrong truck. I had to look, yeah, that's all my junk in here. This is my truck. This ain't the truck I drove in here with. I took it out and I put 50 miles on it. I drove it for 50 miles. Runs like it did when I bought it. That stuff, that fast, ate the crap out of the screens to those cam phasers that it got rid of the problem. Saved myself. I spent $213 and saved myself the 800 plus. So I saved at least $600 that day by just going and getting the proper oil change done and a little bit of preventive maintenance done. Sty's happier than snot. I'm ready to go running around traveling. So on the 14th of October, when they removed this tube out of me, literally, I have nothing tying me down. I'm going to just go out and instead of spending all this money on all this medical supply crap, that money's going to go back into my gas budget. Now, man, I'm hitting the woods. I'm going to go out there. I may not be able to hike all over, but I could sure drive all over and go sightseeing. So, yeah, Sty's going to be hitting the road, on the road again. Yeah, just can't wait to get on the road again.
Well, let's see. Where is it? Yeah, we had, this week was, driver's appreciation.
It was.
Yeah, that's where, all the drivers are out here hauling loads and the office staff are eating barbecue.
Right. Celebrating the fact you're out there working.
Yeah. Well, they had given, they have drawings all week. And see if I can find this damn thing. I got so much crap. Or did I take it down already? Oh, well.
Oh, Samantha Lee. Hi, sweetie.
Hi,
Big
Samantha.
hugs, girl. Oh.
Well, I'll have to find it. I put it somewhere. But I got a hat for you.
A hat?
Yeah, well, they did, drew my number out of the hat. My name. And I got 2 drink koozies, a bottle koozie and a can koozie, and a baseball cap.
Oh, cool.
A Peterbilt cap.
Peterbilt?
And of course, they're joking. They're like, yeah, Peterbilt cap for the Freightliner guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I always go for. Well, they told me, they're like, well, there's spare hats out on the table if you want to swap it out for one of the other ones. I'm thinking, I'm going to get like Truck Center or something,
Yeah.
they had one camouflage Freightliner hat out there.
They did.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll trade that one. And I'll take that back. I said, I'm going to give this to the old man.
Yeah, no shit.
And
That was
like,
my
well,
favorite.
you don't want to wear it? I'm like, I've been here for 6 years. You ever see me wear a baseball cap?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're not a baseball capper. Yeah.
No.
But I am. And I'll tell you what, my 82 cab over Freightliner was the sweetest rig I ever drove. You know, well, that I ever was the operator of. I've driven some nice conventionals in the past, but oh yeah,
And then
that's a nice hat. Yeah, like it. That's nice.
Yeah, nice camo hat for Sty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freightliner and Western Star. So,
yeah. Oh, I almost bought an old Western Star conventional. It's a big bastard, boy. That's like it had a 320. It had a 325 case diesel in it, and boy, did that son of a bitch fly down the highway. But your mother at the time, no, you're not buying that. How the hell are you going to make the payments? I said, driving it, and that scared her.
Never go home. Never go home.
That's it. And she right away she said, he'll never be home. You'll be out there trying to pay off that damn truck, you know. Hey, Gawane, it's good to see ya. It's been a while.
Yeah, because the Western Stars, they've gotten more and more narrowed down in their needs.
Yeah.
It's like buying an Escalade to go camping.
Yeah.
It's a nice, sharp-looking truck inside. They're real nice.
See, the Western Stars back in the 70s, late 70s, the big Western Star conventionals, they were beasts, man. They were beasts. They were just pound the highway and they wouldn't die kind of truck. And everybody that was running Alaska was running Western Stars, and the one I was looking at, it was red and black, and that son of a bitch looked like a beast, boy. That thing looked like it would pull New York City across the country. I mean, it was just a beast. And the ones I see now, I go, they've turned into Jesus Christ, they took a 1-ton Chevy truck and turned that son of a bitch into a Cadillac. I mean,
they're still tough. They still got their bottoms, but they're
pretty. Yeah, they made them pretty.
Mac did the same thing. The new Macs are just sharp. They're pretty trucks. They're still Mac tough.
Hey, Dean.
They still live up to the Bulldog on the hood, but they're so shiny. It's like you don't want to get that for flatbedding because we're going out in the bush with these trucks.
Yeah.
I rode out in the middle of a cornfield.
I do have to say, I had a Detroit V8 and had that in what the hell were we running that in? That was in an old International Transstar 2 cab over. It was a good, tough motor. It ran out good. Don't ever run the bitch out of fuel, though. Don't run that bitch out of fuel unless you got a really good, portable, large air compressor with you, because you have to pressurize and charge each and every injector on that son of a bitch to get that sucker to start up again. If you run that bitch out of fuel, you're screwed. Not only are you changing fuel filters every 100 miles for the next day because of the crap you sucked out of the bottoms of the tanks, but if you get any air to any of them injectors, you're screwed, man. You've got a good 3-hour job of just getting the bitch started again once you're fueled up. And that was the only thing about that Detroit I just did not like. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No kidding. 2 mechanics in 6 days to clear a code. No kidding. No kidding. Uh,
Oh, especially with them having that DEF system, the diesel exhaust fluid, and
uh,
it's just urea that's being
yeah,
sprayed into the
yeah,
exhaust to break down the carbons,
yeah.
but it costs as much as diesel per gallon.
That's it. Fallout
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
people that play Fallout 4, they go, "Oh man, you look at the gas prices in Fallout 4." I said, "Look at it. There's no decimal point. When it says 112, it's
right.
$112 a gallon, but it's only for coolant. They don't sell gasoline in Fallout 4. It's coolant because everything that they were running was nuclear powered and they needed to cool the nuke down." But $112 a gallon, and but I had a couple people say, "Oh man, if we only had gas prices like in Fallout 4." I totally agree because they had zero gas price. There wasn't any gas. But boy, you don't want to winterize your vehicle.
Well, and you don't want to run out of coolant either.
That's it. Your coolant is going to cost you a hell of a lot.
Yeah. Hey, have you seen the 2024 Chevy Chernobyl? No.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You got to change the goddamn rods in it every 2,000 hours of operation of the nuke. The oh shit, or you'll have a meltdown. Hey, Native Kuta, great to see ya. Great to see ya. That's like I've had so many people that in the past that have said, "I still don't understand why we don't have vehicles running on hydrogen." It's cheap to make hydrogen. Yet you're processing water and stealing the hydrogen off of it. Oh yeah, it's cheap to make. Hydrogen's very cheap to make. What's not cheap is replacing a city block when somebody rear ends you and busts that hydrogen tank open and you blow up the whole city block. I mean,
Yeah.
no, you don't want vehicles running around full of hydrogen. No,
Yeah,
no.
it's like hydrogen. Yeah, okay, here. Let me show you this video of something called the Hindenburg.
Yeah. Well, and that, yeah. Now the Hindenburg, yeah. Kapoof.
Yeah. And that wasn't even compressed.
No,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't compressed, and it would have to be compressed to operate a combustion engine. So,
Right.
Yeah, no, hydrogen is a good idea, but it's just too iffy.
Mhm.
It's one of those, yeah. If you had the technical ability and knowledge to manage a hydrogen system personally, that'd be one thing. But to buy it just go buy a hydrogen operated car and you don't know what the fuck what that does or this does or that, and you're driving that son of a bitch on, all it takes is a leak. Take a look at what happened to many of our rockets. Look what happened to the space shuttle when it blew up. I mean,
April of '86.
Yeah. It wasn't the liquid oxygen that blew that bitch up. It was the volatile fuel.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they talk about miniature nuclear operated vehicles. No. Again, now all of a sudden to get a driver's license, you got to become a nuclear physicist so that you know what the hell's going on inside that thing and what to look for and what could happen if that son of a bitch decides it's going to have a meltdown while sitting at the stoplight. Yeah, no. Some things you just don't do.
Yeah.
And
well, like I've taken, I've writer forums and stuff. We get on these topics, and they talk about like nuclear vehicles, or if we got, matter transportation, the teleporter type stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want any of that, because
Yeah.
darn well it's all going to be run by the same people that can't replace an empty roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
That take the last cup of coffee and don't start a new pot. And you're
Right.
going to have these people taking and go to transport to the other side of the planet.
Yep.
And you arrive in a wall.
Or your head ends up where you wanted to go, and your ass is somewhere else.
Or like the lander on Mars that crashed because you had one team that was using inches and the other team using millimeters. And so the ground was about 100 feet closer than what the computer
they
thought.
thought. Yeah. No, I like being in a little more control of what happens to me. I wouldn't want to go there.
And you get the people like, why don't we have flying cars? It's like, people can't handle the cars that are stuck on the ground. You really want them flying around?
And you think about it, all of the car accidents we have today would be happening up there. And now if you have an accident on the ground, car accident, all that debris is localized in that spot. It happens up there. It could be landing in your front yard, man, or on the roof of your house.
It'd have to be all automated, computer controlled, that you as the driver, you're just a passenger.
And I wouldn't do that either, because I have computer glitches trying to use StreamYard, for God's sake. So can you imagine? I'm going to get in this computer operated vehicle, and I put my life and my ass in the hands of a computer that hasn't been updated in the last 18 months. Mm-hmm. But everybody else's has been, and mine decides to drive through that intersection that all the traffic's going the other way. What? Well, it wasn't updated. It forgot that. Oh, yeah. It can't do that there.
Well, earlier this week, my GPS, I was on, it's Washington 14, runs on the north side of the Columbia River. And, going to go down to a bridge point to get back over to the Oregon side onto the interstate. Out of the blue, GPS is like, turn left here. Look, it's like a 200-foot drop off the bank and down into the river, because it thinks there's a road there, because its distance is off because the signal was bad.
Oh boy.
It's like, no, I don't want that driving a vehicle for me.
Down in Rochester, Minnesota, this is no shit. When your sister came and picked me up from the hospital, we're coming home. She missed a turn. Well, no big deal. I told her, that's cool. Just go up here. Now there's going to be a one-way. Take a left on it. You go up 2 blocks, and it's another one-way. Take left on that and go back down 2 blocks and take a right, and you're back on the proper street. You know what that GPS told? I'm looking at my GPS. She's running hers. I'm running mine. I looked at that's how bitch told us to go up there to where I said take a left on the one-way. Told us to go up there and take a right on that one-way. If I was following the GPS, I would have gotten hit head on by a bunch of traffic, man. It's 3 lanes wide, all one way. And GPS was telling me to go the wrong way on it. I'm like, okay, GPS is a good general guide. Don't count on it. Just, use it on a general basis,
Yeah, I use it for mostly my ETA. Ballpark of when I'll be there.
Right.
Otherwise, I've got my Rand McNally Atlas.
Right. And for actual miles driven and ETA, that's what I use more than anything too. Hey, hang on tight. Don't go anywhere. I got to run this. It only takes less than 50 seconds. So everybody hang tight. I got to shout these wonderful people out. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. there's a bunch of great channels for you folks to follow. Hey, but I tell you what, it's not safe out there anymore driving anywhere. The other day, now I got to run out to Walmart tomorrow. The only regret I have to run into Walmart anymore is all the morons I got to drive with out there. I see some of the dumbest stuff. This is no shit. I was at Walmart. I pulled in, and I was at where you first come into the parking lot, so I can see the whole parking lot, right? And there was a vehicle in front of me, and I pulled kind of off to the side, let them go on, see where they're going to head, what aisle, row they were going to head down. And I watched them. Sure enough, they go down a row where the traffic comes towards them. Well, you can't pull into a damn parking spot because the vehicles are parked at angles, right? So they're all parked at the wrong angle for you to try to swing into a parking spot going down at that direction. They're one way. Well, they went down the wrong way. I thought, well, that happens, It's happened to me, not paying attention. Oh, shit. And, oh no. They get to the end of that, and I'm sitting there, and I'm finishing up a cigarette before I'm going to park and go in. They come up the next row. That's the wrong way also. The next row is the opposite. So they're coming up that the wrong way. And I watched them. They get to the end of it. They turn, and they headed down the next row the wrong way. And I told myself, now, who in the hell gave them a driver's license? Who in the hell in their right mind gave them a driver's license? That they can't figure that shit out. So I get into Walmart. I'm going down the aisles. And I learned it as a little kid. I mean, right is right, left is wrong. You don't walk to the left, you walk to the right. Just like you'd use streets. My whole visit in Walmart, and it sucked because I was there for almost an hour. I bet you I had at least, at a minimum, 30 assholes that were on the right side of the aisle and refusing to move. And I had to go to the left and around them. And they were just walking through. Going down the left side of the aisle, just walking through like, get the hell out of my way. Now, how the hell they get to Walmart? I hope they don't have a driver's license either. I mean, if I had a choice, there wouldn't be a lot of us driving out there. There's a lot of people pull their driver's license. This son of a bitch don't know what side of the road they're on. I mean, it's...
Yeah, they're the same idiots that come bursting out the end of the aisle without looking and see if there's cross traffic coming.
Oh, yeah. You're in the main aisle that goes right through.
You're on the interstate through the store.
The big aisle down the center, and you're zipping along, and here comes some asshole out the end of one of the smaller aisles, doesn't even look, and you damn near plow them over. And then they look at you like, what? Like you're the asshole. It's like, I'm trying to get down to dairy, and you came out of the soup aisle like a bat out of hell right into oncoming traffic. No driver's license for you. See, if I had my way, there'd be a lot of people that don't have driver's licenses. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Crazy as hell.
Last part of the test is you have to go pick up these 4 items at Walmart, and we'll be watching.
That's it. That's it. You're gonna park at Walmart. We're gonna see what aisles you use driving in. You're gonna park. Then you're going to go into Walmart and you're going to shop for 20 minutes. And here's the items, and you make sure they're in all 4 corners of the store. And you go through and follow them. No, you failed the Walmart test. Yeah, you're no license for you. Yeah, I'm all for it. I want that job. There'd be a lot of people that would hate me, but I want that job. Yeah.
I'll have to go out to Walmart. My tires are arriving tonight.
Oh yeah. I like the tires on your truck, but yeah, they got a lot of miles on them.
Yeah, well, and they sat for a good number of years. So you look at them,
Yeah,
they got that dry rotting happening.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's why the driver's side rear and the passenger side front, those are the two that like to go low all the time. And I've run it down the Midland a couple times, topped them off while you've been out. I didn't have to use it for my pleasure driving because when I messaged you and said my truck went to shit and I got my truck running, I only used it to, I went down to Quick Lube and said, I show up, you guys can get me in. They said, yeah, sure. And I brought it back and used my truck. And then once they got that fixed, shit, yeah, then I used that to run out to Walmart and do my running around. So your truck's only gotten maybe 6 or 8 miles on it since you've been gone. So and I did, it's 8 blocks. It's 8 actual blocks from here to Sanborn Avenue. Yeah, that's a pretty good walk down there and back. I haven't walked it for the last few days. Yes. Oh shit. Yesterday, I went out on the front porch, thought I'd have a cigarette. Oh, I had to stand out there and smoke it and lean up against the mailbox because it was raining so damn hard. Everything was wet out there. It rained all frickin' day yesterday, the whole day. I'm going to get to mow the grass one more time before I tarp the mower for the winter.
Well, we'll get to play with the new weed eater.
That's it. I was tempted to start cutting your boxes, the bigger boxes open, find that weed eater, get the batteries charged up, and go out and play with it, and a little bit every day. That's nice out, decent out. I'm going to whack away at these big. I mean, our weed field out here is 8 feet tall. I can't wait to get into that shit and cut it. It's easy to cut. I go out there with a pruner and snap, snap, snap. They're that big around, but they're soft. I just snap, snap. It's the thistles in the back here, those burrs, Some of them. Oh.
When I wasn't sure if I told you, I also got that swap out head that has the blades.
Blades, that's the one. That's
blades on it.
Yeah. That's the one we need for that. Because I want to get that knocked down enough that I can access the wood. Because once this tube is actually out of me, and I got to give it about a week to heal up, then I can go out there with the electric chainsaw and start bucking up some of the smaller stuff and get that piled ready to burn and or split if any of it's larger, And then once that's done, then I can get into the bigger stuff and buck that into bigger chunks and split it up. I got to move the pile of split wood I got over by the fire pit yet. And that's it, is I want to get that all cleaned out around that fire pit, expand that, get it back towards the back porch, and get that all cleaned out there so we got more space around the fire pit.
Well, if we're lucky and have at least one nice evening, we can actually get the fire going.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I miss campfires. I still don't have the stamina and the energy that I want. It's just not there. But it'll come back, especially once this tube is gone. Once I got that tube out of me, then the comfort level is going to be much higher. I'll feel a lot more like being out doing things, that I'm not going to hurt myself or hit that tube in any way, That's the worst part, is that tube, I can't have anything bumping up against it or nothing, and I've had the tube in long enough, the stitches that hold it into the body are getting at that point where they're ready they dissolve.
Right. Yeah.
And they're getting to that point where they only got a few more weeks left in them and they'll start breaking loose, So timing's perfect. I was lucky. My doctor, she set up the referral and got me a surgeon that's going to remove that tube locally right here in Ashland. And they said, yeah, They set it up as an hour-long appointment, but they said, you'll be in and out of here in a half an hour. They said, it's an hour appointment, but it takes them 10 minutes to get the tube out of you, and then they want to watch you for 15. Make sure everything's okay, and off you go. You go home. I said,
Well, I managed to get an appointment set up for Thursday for my insurance thing. So
yeah, I've got an with Lakes.
yeah, on Main.
Yeah. It's at the far end of the building. So if you're heading towards Walmart down Main, you pull over in front of their building. You go to the very last door towards Walmart. That's the door you go in. There's 3 doors there, and that's the door you go in. You try the other doors. No, you got to go down there. Yeah.
I imagine I'll probably need to dig out a mask. Are they still
Yeah. You don't have to dig one out. I've got a whole box of them damn things sitting right here in the living room.
Well, I've got boxes in here too.
Yeah.
I use like 2 of them.
That's me. I think I've taken 4 out of this box, and 2 of them are in the truck and never been used. Hey, Mr. Fulton, congratulations, 7-year anniversary. There you go, you and your girlfriend. Hey, Nigel Clay, good to see ya. It's been a while.
Yeah, kind of freaked out our insurance and HR gal, because we got this form because it used to be we had like a health day clinic where they would have a doctor and a few practitioners and nurses,
right?
Practitioners come out that would draw blood, take blood pressure, do the vital stuff.
Yeah.
At the terminal.
Yeah.
Well, they decided it would be easier for us to go see our personal doctors. Well, of course, a lot of us, we don't have personal doctors. So,
that's right.
But
and you're not home often.
As that it's a wellness check, and your personal physician will decide what screenings is needed based off of age, race, and health history. It's like, okay, so that's very vague. So if I go in there and say, hey, I feel great, just sign this, and they agree, I'm good to go. And they're like, yeah, as far as anybody knows, you had your check.
That's as long as the doctor or a nurse practitioner signed off.
Well, I've got the form and looking at it, it's like got the top part where I put my name and stuff. And the bottom half is for the doctor to fill out, with their name and clinic and that phone number and all that. But it said, to be completed by physician. And then parentheses, please do write any HIPAA related information on this form. And I saw that, I'm like, whoa, okay. Took a picture of it, circled it, the do part, and I sent it off to the HR gal, and then she called me and she's like, I can't believe I had 4 people proofread that. She's like, there should be a big knot in there. Do not write any HIPAA information on the form. I'm like, yeah, and I wasn't going to have any doctors sign that with the please do. So that creates a loophole that somebody could use later on.
Right.
As being consent.
Yeah. Well, that's like with the mail. All of the tissue samples they kept from my surgery, and it's a bunch. They got it all in cryo status, they got it all froze. They keep asking me about now it's every 2 weeks instead of every week, sometimes twice a week, for my signed consent that they can thaw it out and study it. I told them, not unless you wipe out my bill. I came right out and told them that. I said, the remainder of what I owe the mail, you wipe that out and I'll give you that permission. I said, because of all this free research you get off of these free samples you get off of all of the guinea pigs that you do surgery on that got you the research and development. You can't research and develop something you don't have. So you need those parts. So you con everybody into letting them keep your parts and do the research and development for down the road, the future. I'm all for that. Help the future out. But you got to help yourself out too. You don't give everything away for nothing. So I told him, I said, I think it's a sweet deal. I don't owe you that damn much. You wipe my bill clean, I'll give you that permission. You can do it. They haven't agreed yet. I don't think they are. They're gonna. They'll just say, hopefully, the next sucker with cancer like his will let us keep his stuff. You know,
They don't like people that.
I'm not trying to be cheap. I just don't like them assuming that they should get everything for nothing, but then they charge us these outrageous costs for medical. But yet they should get everything from us for nothing, you know? No. You're trying to pick my pocket, my turn. I'm going to pick your pocket a little bit. Yeah. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. It's a win-win then. I get a little something out of it, and you might get a lot out of it, you know?
Well, and it's funny that, they have, that lawsuit comes up again and again every few years of trying to get it passed, trying to get laws in place that data and materials that are excised in medical treatment belongs to the treatment provider.
Yeah.
That they don't need consent, and it keeps getting shut down.
Right.
Every single time.
Right. Because that's no different than body part harvesting. If you aren't a donor, they can't give your heart to somebody else, and that's why that'll never fly with transplant donors. I mean, you can't force someone to give up their body parts for somebody else. So why should they be able to force you to give up your body parts that they've removed for their research? No. No, that's mine. In fact, you should give those back to me so I can have those added to my remains when I'm cremated, because they're part of me. They're not yours. They're part of me. Yeah, you shouldn't even, at this point, I told you, no, you should destroy them. You should get rid of it because you shouldn't even be possessing them anymore.
Tune in next Sunday. I got something to show you, and don't bring the kids.
Yeah.
This is what they took out of me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our clinic, too, Lori, does the same thing. You still have to have a mask when you come in the door. And you got to wear it through the whole process. And all their staff are wearing the masks. And they don't take our temps anymore, but they do ask you all the COVID questions. Any symptoms, blah, 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 blah. And yeah.
Have you traveled anywhere in the last 14 days? It's like, I'm a truck driver.
Yeah. No. I haven't gone anywhere. I've been inside a truck cab for the last 14 days.
When I had my random drug test come up and they had asked, they're like, well, have you traveled outside the state in the last 14 days? It's like, I've been in 14 different states in the last 14 days. They're like, what? Yeah. They're like, oh, truck driver. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. They want to know if you've been out of state or if you've left the country.
It's like, and the big thing, for like us truck drivers, they're like, well, have you been part of any large gatherings?
Well, I couldn't believe it when I was at the doctor's office a couple of weeks ago. I'm sitting there in the waiting room, and this young fella comes in there with another young fella and a gal come in there, and he walks up and he's speaking Spanish, Mexican, and he's Mexican. And of course, the receptionist is like, okay. She just holds her hand up and she goes, and she gets on the phone. And it's on speakerphone. You can hear it. this guy gets on there and they go through this whole process, and they get an interpreter on the phone. They'll take anybody under any language. They got this outfit that they call, and they get the right interpreter for that person's language. So this person gets on there that speaks Spanish, and so she's going through the routine and asking the questions, right? And the interpreter then says it in Spanish to the Mexican fella, and then he responds to him. Then he tells her what the Mexican fella said, back and forth like that. She got to those COVID questions and asked him, have you traveled outside of the country in the last 14 days? And the interpreter asks him that. And he's nodding his head and says, and the interpreter says, yes, he has only been in the country for a week. Oh, I think I know where you came from. I'm sitting there going, oh, yeah. Oh, we know where he came from. He's only been in here in the U.S. for a week, and here he is. And then they got to the questions of insurance and how is he going to pay and this and that. Well, he can't, and he has no insurance. He has no permanent address, on and on. And she's going through, well, before they can see you, you have to apply. You're going to have to fill this form out and apply for sliding scale based on your income. And obviously, you probably don't have an income. So your sliding scale, you're probably paying nothing. But you do have to do this before we can see you. And fortunately, the guy was there about almost an hour before his appointment. Well, the interpreter explained it to him and shit. So she had to sit there and read off everything on that form. And then she'd fill it in with the interpreter's response after he talked to the guy. But it took, I bet you it took close to a half an hour for her just to check that poor son of a bitch in to see a doctor. And then I thought, oh shit, how's the doctor going to be able to deal with this guy? The doctor don't speak Spanish. None of the doctors there speak Spanish. And I heard her say to the interpreter, can you stay on the line until he's called in? And then we'll transfer the call to that exam room. And then the doctor and you can deal with him. And the interpreter said, yes, we have a time limit, though, of 20 minutes to be on hold. At the 20-minute mark, my phone system will, if we haven't been talking, will shut us right off. He said, so if he gets in within 20 minutes, we're good. Otherwise, you'll have to call and go through all of the entry steps again. And as soon as she hung that, put him on hold, he told the guy he could take a seat and they'll call him in. He went to, and she put him on hold. And she picked up the phone again and dialed. And I heard her say, yeah, this is so-and-so at the front desk, and we have this situation with this guy. And the interpreters can only be on the phone for 20 minutes, can only hold for 20 minutes. How quick can we get this guy? They were out of there right away. Called his butt right back there. Because, yeah, we don't want to lose that interpreter. Otherwise, we're all sitting here. Yeah, none of us are speaking anything because we can't understand. And I thought, there you go. There you go. That's a whole nother situation where didn't have to deal with that stuff in the past, because if you come through legal steps, you would then be taking English courses. You would be set up and everything would be arranged. You'd be taking classes on basically what you're doing is you're going to get a GED.
Yeah.
You're going to learn enough about the United States to become a citizen. And one of those is to learn English, and he'd be able to basically communicate what he's doing there. But no, not now. I mean, they're coming over and they don't understand a lick of English, and they're I mean, within a week they want medical services and they want other services, and we're just not prepared for it, especially way up north up here. I mean, we don't have Spanish speaking people up here.
No, we got French.
That
No.
yeah.
We learn French just in case the Canadians invade someday.
Yeah. And we do have Spanish speaking people, but they're U.S. citizens. They got jobs. They got lives. They're doing their thing. They're not going to go sit at a clinic every day waiting in case somebody comes in that doesn't speak English, Right. So yeah. Have you been around any large gatherings? Yeah, just look at your waiting room. Lori, that's pretty good. Yeah. Not until I got here. I stayed away from people until I got here. See, now my doctor, I've got an appointment for November 11th. That's way the hell down the road. She says, I don't need to see you before then because we can communicate through the portal that I've got with the clinic. She said, we can communicate about any of the health needs that you may have between now and then. And in a worst case, we can get you in. And I said, well, I thought for sure you'd want to see me at least every 30 days. She goes, no, the less often you got to come in here around people that are probably sick, the better. She says, you're not sick, so why should I bring you around these sick people? She said, that makes no sense. I said, no, what you're doing makes total sense. It's stay away from all these sick people. It's like going to the hospital makes me nervous. You want to get sick, a hospital's the place to go. But if I go to the cancer center, I'm not so nervous because all of those people that are there, they're all dealing with what I'm dealing. You don't want to catch nothing, man. You don't want to catch nothing from nobody, no how, no way. So we're all looking for the same thing. We're all staying clear of people and shit. So when we get together in the same room, it's not as nerve-wracking because they're as cautious as you are. And it's a different atmosphere, whole different meaning behind everything. But hell, it was
I was going to say, I was watching a show with, what's his name, Mike Rowe. That was talking about, the germs and bacteria that you come across every day. And I saw where you were talking earlier, good bacteria, bad bacteria.
Right.
And, and they went into, you could tell it's a Walmart. They were really careful not to show any of the Walmart logoing, but you could tell that they're at Walmart.
Yeah.
Just getting swabs of all of the store. And they're like, the worst place to go if you're worried about getting sick is the cold medicine aisle. Because that's the only reason anyone goes there is because they're sick.
And they're grabbing everything and reading it and putting it back. And everything's been touched. Exactly. The medication aisles are just like dirty bathrooms. They really are.
That's why I stock up. If you notice in the bathroom, I've got cough medicines and stuff.
Yeah.
I got while I was healthy, but it's stocked up and ready for when I need it. So I don't have to go to the store.
Now I saw a guy one day in Walmart, and I thought, oh, that guy's got it figured out. You see these people, they pull in and they got that disinfectant wipe station there to wipe the cart handle and shit, and you see people wiping their carts down and stuff, and off they go into the store. Well, the minute you touch something on the shelf, your cart's contaminated. So this guy, he's coming out of the store and he's got 2 bags in the cart. And he gets out there and he pulls off one of those wipes and he wipes down the handlebar of the cart and anything near the bags, around the bags. Throws that in the garbage, pulls another wipe down, he does his hands. And he pushes the cart over to the cart area there, lifts his 2 bags out and heads out the door. He cleaned his hands in the cart when he was done with it, not going in, but on the way out, because he didn't want to take any of that shit from that store out that door with him. And that's the first thing that went through my mind. He wants to leave clean. He showed up knowing he's going to get dirty the minute he touches anything. I want to be clean at walking out the door. I thought, good for you. You got it.
And I see it every day. The truck stops. Someone goes to the bathroom. They come up, turn the faucet on, wash their hands, grab that faucet to shut it off, and then they dry off their hands, and then grab the handle of the door and head on up. It's like, why'd you wash your hands?
Now, okay, that's weird. If you saw me in a public bathroom,
I grab a paper towel and I put it over my shoulder so I can shut off that faucet and grab the door.
I wash. Right, I wash my hands, and I don't use those blow dryers because anything in the air is going to just blow through there and blow it out onto your hands anyway. So I'll tear off some paper towels, dry my hands off really well. Then I tear off a paper towel, I go to the door and use the paper towel to open the door. And I didn't look for somewhere to toss that paper towel. They should have a garbage can on the inside and outside of those doors that you can drop those paper towels, because some of us are smart enough not to touch that damn door handle. You ain't going to put your bare hand on that door handle, maybe going in, but not coming out.
See, I like the ones that have, the little maze without the door. Or something we're seeing a lot in the truck stops now is it's a little kickstand tab that's on the bottom that you can use your boot to pull the door open.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just this little plate with a traction. It looks like a motorcycle kickstand.
Right.
Don't have to touch that door at all.
Yeah, I know when I worked for the tribe over at Bad River, we had a guy there that was a total germaphobe. I mean, that guy had folded paper towels in his pockets, and he'd pull one out whenever he touched something that's not in his office. It was hilarious watching this guy. And we had to put garbage cans all over the place just for him, so that he could get rid of these paper towels, because once he used it, boom, it's got to go in the trash, And hand sanitizer, little squirt bottles of hand sanitizer. He probably carried 4 of them with him all the time. It's constant. And I told him, I said, you're sanitizing yourself to the point where you're going to catch something. And when you do, it's going to be really hard on you because your system's too protected, man. Well, he just wouldn't buy into it, but there is some science behind that. We do and it's like with antibiotics. They give kids antibiotics so much. No, that's the worst thing. Why do you think they end up with all these bowel problems when they're young teens and teenagers, and then they become adults and they got all these bowel problems, and their bowels can't handle things like milk and things like that? It's because they don't have any of the good digestive enzymes and bacterias, because they've killed it all off with antibiotics as children.
Yep. Antibiotics don't discriminate.
And they need those for proper digestion, and those antibiotics kill it off. And that's why my doctors, if I say, I got this bug, I think I need an antibiotic, she'll say, I'll put you on an antibiotic, but I want you to quadruple your yogurt intake. I want you eating a lot more yogurt than you typically do. I want you to keep those enzymes up and the bacterias up. Feed those bacteria lots of fiber, because bacteria attacks that fiber. Did you know that fiber has no nutritional value whatsoever? It has zero.
Right.
There's zero nutritional value to fiber. All fiber does is it feeds the bacteria in your stomach. They feed off of it. And guess what what they produce because they feed off of the fiber? Gas. So when you're farting a lot, that means your bacteria is working real well. They've been asking me for the last 2 months, do you have gas? Well, no, not an unusual amount of gas, but yeah, normal. I pass gas just like anybody else. Good. We're good. We're glad to hear it. I go, oh, really? So farting's good, huh? Oh, yeah, that means that your gut's working. That means everything's working like it's supposed to. Well, and then I got into the details about fiber and what causes gas. And fiber is what causes gas. That's why beans and legumes generally create gas, is because all the fiber in it and those bacteria are breaking down that fiber and producing gas. And the fibers that they don't break down, they get through your system, act as a brush in your colon to clean you out. So that's all fiber is good for. There's nothing nutritional value whatsoever, except that it makes your stomach more susceptible to absorbing the actual nutrients out of the real food, which is cool. It's cool. The science behind it's cool. Yeah. Well, if there's a chance of you getting home tomorrow, I got some work to do. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I got to get that bedroom squared away and figure out. I'll still do my tube feeding in the living room, but my CPAP machine and some of the extra pillows and shit are all going in the bedroom. I get that all moved here this afternoon and get all set up, and I'll sleep in my bed for the very first time in 2 months, over 2.5 months now. Since it's been even more than that, because I slept there on the recliner for a good solid week before I went for my surgery. So yeah, it's been almost 3 months, and I get to use a bed, lay in a damn bed. I'm gonna love that shit. I'm gonna love every bit of it. Yeah, that's right. That's where the fiber. That's it. Is it? And see, for me, I gotta have a lot of fiber because I drink a lot. I eat a lot of soups. Well, there's not enough solids in the soups, and without the fiber, you can't get the solids from the soups to pass through you. They stack up. You end up constipated. But the fiber keeps things moving, keeps it going, keeps it moving. Yeah, fiber is good for you. Native Kutsa, you have a very fine rest of your day. Love you, girl. I try to keep track of you. I catch parts of your lives. She goes live at times that are just tough for me. And it's frustrating because sometimes I can only catch a half hour, 45 minutes of a live, and she'll be on for a couple hours or so. And yeah, I love watching her. But for all of you out there, Sty loves y'all. Thanks for hanging out this Sunday. And next Sunday, I might have more positive news to report. I may be done tube feeding. Yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. Running water.
I probably won't be here because I'll be home.
Yeah, he'll be home. He'll be in the living room playing PlayStation while I'm on here chatting with you guys. I know what he's up to on it. Yeah, during live streams when he's home. He's got other things to do he don't get to do out on the road. So until next Sunday, I want you all to take care of yourselves. All stay safe out there. Stay happy. Get outdoors. Get some fresh air. It goes a long ways. Helps you quite a bit. So until then, This is Sty saying goodbye. And we'll see you again 1 week from now. Hey, Running Water, might see you tomorrow.
See y'all later.
Keep me posted.
Sure will.
Yeah, because I can even run down, pick you up, get your truck to move again. You know. Okay.
Well, make sure to bring the truck key that has the little key on it because I locked the topper because I had stuff in the back of the truck. So, because there's 2 truck keys up there.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look. Okay. Sounds good. Hey guys, y'all take care. I'll grab that girl in the fur coat and dance my way out of here, and I'll see y'all next Sunday. Bye-bye.